lesson, we mentioned some parts of computer, and we categorized some of these parts into input and output devices. Femi, can you tell us 5 parts of computer, particularly the ones that are related to input devices?
Keyboard, mouse, scanner, joystick, and webcam.
Perfect. This morning, we want to look at the interaction that exists between all these devices and the processor. I wouldn't have much to say. Let me hand you over to Don Matthews of Mindset Learn, who will explore some of these interactions that exist between all these devices.
Hi, my name is Dawn Matthews. Welcome to another exciting lesson in this series on computer hardware. Today we're going to send Archie and Salai out on a mission to find as many input devices as they can. Then we're going to find out how each one works. But before we start, let's take a quick look at what we've learned about input devices from our previous lessons. In lesson 1, we learned that an input device is a device which allows us to enter data or instructions into the computer. We also saw that you get different kinds of input devices. Some we've seen include a keyboard, a mouse, and a barcode scanner. In addition to these, there are many different input devices, and in this lesson, we will take a look at some of them. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify different input devices, state the purposes for which different input devices are used, and list different ways in which input devices send data to the computer.
Hey Dawn, we're here at this cool computer store called Incredible Connection, and my word, you will not believe the amount of cool stuff we found here.
Yeah man, I mean look at this. This is a scanner, and a scanner is an input device.
Yes, a scanner is an input device that captures an image and then sends it through to the computer as input. It does this by making a digital copy of the original image. This is called digitizing.
I've heard that word, but how does it work?
The scanner takes the original image and breaks it up into tiny little blocks of data. Each block is then given a number. This number represents the color of the block. These blocks are arranged in grids, which are called bitmaps. All this digital data is then sent to the CPU and rearranged in the right order on the screen, like this.
Yeah man, check this out.
And this one's called a flatbed scanner. I wonder how this works. Let me try and find someone who answers that for me. Well, I managed to find someone who knows all about flatbed scanners, and his name is Lawrence. How are you doing today?
Finding himself.
Awesome. Now can you please tell us how this works?
Sure, let me take you through. This is a flatbed scanner. You sometimes call it the desktop scanner. This is how it works. You place the document into the lid, and then it doesn't print out. It transfers the data or the image into the computer so that you can work on it. It works similar to a photocopy machine.
Have a look. You place your image on what looks like a glass plate and close the lid. Look what happens when I press the scan button on the scanner. It will automatically open the software on the screen. Now, let's look at our scanned image. As you can see, the image has appeared on the screen. The original picture has been scanned and processed, and the result has been displayed on the screen.
Okay, let me get this right. The picture was sent to the scanner, and the scanner sent the picture to the computer, which means that the scanner is an input device.
The computer then processed, and then it came up with a result. And the result is what's being displayed on the screen. You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like output.
Very good. Let's have a look at some of the other kinds of scanners.
Thanks, but I know that there's some other kinds of scanners out there.
Yeah, like remember that one that was used when we went shopping?
Yes, that's called a stationary label scanner or barcode scanner. These types of scanners are often built into the tills at supermarkets. They're used to read the information of a barcode. This is an easy way to get product information into a computer without making mistakes. You can also get a handheld version of a barcode scanner.
Hey, this looks like a handheld scanner.
Yes, any small handheld device that scans an image as you move over a sheet of paper is called a handheld scanner. These scanners work in the same way as flatbed scanners, but are not normally used to scan a whole page or image. They're designed to scan smaller images that take up half a page or less, like a barcode.
Well, that's that with scanners. What's next?
Now let's look at one of the most important input devices of them all, the keyboard. Is there only one kind of keyboard, or are there others?
Yo, check this out. I found a whole range of keyboards. Now remember this one. This is called the Qwerty Keyboard.
And if you guys look at the top row of keys carefully, you'll see that they spell out QWERTY.
Good, you two. A keyboard is used to input letters, numbers, or instructions into the computer. But Archie, go back to where you were and you will find a keyboard that has no cables. That is because it's wireless.
But I don't understand. How does this wireless keyboard communicate to the computer if they're not connected?
Well, it does connect with the computer, but it's not connected with cables. This is how it works. A signal is sent from this wireless device to the infrared port on the keyboard.
Do any other input devices work in the same way?
Actually, yes. Have a look at the mouses.
Mouses. That doesn't sound right. Shouldn't it be mice?
The truth is that in computer circles, both words are used to describe more than one computer mouse. Each pick up a mouse. Can you see one has a cable that connects it to the computer and one doesn't? Like the keyboard, the wireless mouse doesn't need cables. Instead, it has a small high-frequency radio transmitter built into it. This transmitter sends a signal to the computer without needing a cable.
Over here, well, I just want to know, so what kind of data do mouses send to the computer?
Mouses send data about their changing position to the computer. These instructions are instantly processed and make the mouse pointer move around the screen in the same way that the mouse is moved. The mouse also has buttons. Clicking on these mouse buttons allows you to select or highlight text or icons on the screen.
And we get different kinds of mouses. So far we know about the optical mouse and the standard mouse.
Correct. Have a look at this mouse. It's the standard mouse. It should be familiar to you because these mouses are what you usually use at school and at home. Turn it over and you will see it has a ball at the bottom. When you move the mouse, this ball rolls along the surface of the table. At the same time, the ball pushes against rollers inside the mouse. This movement of the ball and rollers provides data about the mouse's changing position, which is sent to the computer. A standard mouse is the cheapest kind of mouse. That's why it's so commonly used. But the standard mouse needs constant maintenance and cleaning. If you don't clean the mouse, the ball and rollers will get sticky and stop the mouse from moving smoothly. This mouse over here is called an optical mouse. An optical mouse does away with the need for cleaning because, as you can see, it does not have a ball or roller at the bottom.
So how does it work?
It works by sending out light from a tiny transmitter that is located underneath it. As the mouse moves, the light provides data about the mouse's changing position. This data is then sent to the computer where it is processed. An optical mouse is faster and more efficient than a standard mouse, but it's also more expensive. Now go and have a look at a laptop. Do you remember what can be used instead of a mouse?
Oh yes, it's the touchpad.
Hey look Archie, they've also got joysticks.
Joysticks. Now that sounds like fun.
Well, yes, a joystick is usually used to play games. They're good for controlling movement and they have buttons for firing and jumping.
They've also got digital cameras. Isn't that an input device?
Yes, Digital cameras allow you to input photographs into your computer. You can then view these photos on the screen, print them out, and even email them to your friends.
And look over here, they've got a webcam and a microphone, and these two are both input devices.
Yes, a webcam is a small camera that connects to your computer. It can capture moving images and then send them into your computer as a digital signal. Once your computer has received this digital signal, it can send it out onto the internet. This means that the picture from your webcam can be watched by anyone connected to the internet. If you also have a microphone, you can send a voice message with a picture from the webcam. So if you and a friend both had a webcam and a microphone, you could see and hear each other over the internet.
Okay, how about milkshakes? I'm buying.
Cool, you said the magic words, let's go! Thanks guys, you did really well.
Now, you've watched series of input devices that are related to digitalization. Now, what can you say from the video you have watched? Shade?
The video we watched taught us about how input devices interact with the computer brain, which is the processor.
Thank you very much. Yes, do we have anybody else? Any contrary opinion? Okay, Shola.
The video we watched tells us that keyboard is used to input alphabet, numerics, and is used to instruct the computer system.
Thank you very much. Now, do we have any bothering questions so far? Tinupe?
Are these input devices the only devices we have?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. We have numerous devices, and as they've been shown on the video, it tells us that there are many devices called input devices, but these are common ones. And by the virtue of the video, common input devices that you can get anywhere and just to get familiar with. Anybody else? Yes? No, I can't get you. Can you speak louder?
And this common inputs device is very costly.
Now, that's a very fascinating question to ask. Actually, the school can afford, but may I tell you that the numerous parts of these input devices are not used in the educational environment. So it will be so tedious for school to obtain most of all these devices. And that is why we are cutting edge use of technology. Possibly for you to see the interaction that exists between all these devices. I think I've answered your question. Yes, who else again? Yes, Femi.
Why are these devices not present in the school?
Now, I think I've answered your question because most of them are not used in educational environment. And that is why we are cutting edge in use of technology. Shade, I think you have one or two things to ask.
Yes. Why don't the teachers in our schools be using this type of devices to teach us instead of writing lessons?
That's, oh my God. Actually, I could say it's a big problem and a challenge on the part of the teachers. And as you have raised the question, I think I will meet with my colleagues and we'll discuss about how to move forward concerning it. Thank you for that observation. Yes?
How did the video get that?
Now, you can get more of those videos from Mindset Line. If you get home, tune into channels DSTV 319. It runs through Mondays to Thursdays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So you have access to most of these devices and most of these videos that discuss about different aspects of your subject. So it does not necessarily mean you should devote your time to IT section. So there are other subjects. There are other subjects that have videos that have been encapsulated in that Mindset Line channel DSTV. Till next week, I come your way. Have a pleasant day.